All right, so are you ready for this? Our deep dive today, it's going to be wild.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at that crazy Halloween episode of Days of Our Lives.
Okay.
The one with the dream sequence.
Yeah, the dream sequence.
It's like they just threw everything into this one. But honestly, it kind of works.
It's amazing how they managed to take what's essentially a classic whodunit and turn it into this commentary on soap operas.
Right.
Like they're winking at the audience the whole time saying, we know this is crazy, but that's why you love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they start things off with Leo, Salem's resident schemer, having this super vivid dream. And it's not like a regular dream.
No.
Like a full-blown film noir, smoky jazz club.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's in a fedora.
Okay.
They call the joint the Pine View Pub.
The casting in the dream is really clever.
Yeah.
Alex as this brooding Arrow character, Chanel as the femme fatale Faith.
Oh, yeah.
Even Joy, the new girl, is in on the action as Regan, the jealous wife.
Right.
It's like they took the entire cast and threw them into a blender.
Yeah.
And somehow it all came together.
So picture this. Faith and Reagan, they're both head over heels for Arrow.
Okay, classic love triangle.
Yeah. And then, bam,
Yeah.
Faith gets stabbed.
Oh, no.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Everyone is pointing fingers at Arrow, even though he's saying he's innocent.
Of course.
This is where the writers start playing with all those classic soap opera tropes.
Okay.
Arrow is getting accused left and right, no evidence against him. It's so over the top, but it works because it feels intentional.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, yeah, we know this happens all the time, so let's just have fun with it.
Absolutely.
And they even make fun of that whole characters disappearing and reappearing thing
Oh.
with the hidden stairwells in the Pine View Pub.
Oh.
Every time somebody needs to make a dramatic exit or entrance boom, hidden stairwell.
I see.
It's like they're highlighting how ridiculous these conventions can be,
Yeah.
but they do it in a way that's still entertaining.
When you think about it, the whole dream sequence is like a microcosm of the soap opera genre.
Yeah.
You've got exaggerated emotions, mistaken identities, a body count that just keeps climbing.
Right. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, Cassandra, played by Bonnie, of course, gets thrown into the mix.
Of course.
She's obsessed with this begonia serum, you know, a magic potion for eternal youth.
Oh.
But guess what?
What?
She ends up stabbed too.
No.
So Arrow, she's still trying to clear his name.
Okay.
And he stumbles upon Stephanie, who's playing a character called Miranda.
Okay.
She's the only one who believes him. But you can probably guess what happens next.
Uh-oh. Let me guess. Another victim of the mysterious Pine View plunger.
You got it. And each time someone dies, Detective Hodson, played by Johnny, shows up to investigate.
Okay.
But here's the thing. He starts commenting on the repetitive beats of the episode. Like he knows he's stuck in some predictable soap opera loop.
Now, that's interesting. Are the writers just poking fun at themselves, or is there something more to it? Are they commenting on the whole cyclical nature of soap operas in general?
Yeah, it's something to think about. But before we go too deep into all that, we got to talk about Marlena's cameo as Charlemagne.
Okay.
She pops out of a secret passage naturally, adding another layer of absurdity to this already bonkers dream.
And those names. Arrow and Flash. It's like they're referencing the comic book world.
Yeah.
Blurring the lines between fantasy and reality even more.
Totally. But what's really interesting is how the dream ends.
How?
With Leo getting stabbed by the Pine View plunger in his own apartment.
What?
It's this crazy moment that makes you question what's real and what's not.
Yeah. Like, did the dream just turn into reality, or was it a premonition?
Exactly. And then the episode throws another curveball. The Pine View plunger unmasks. It's Stephanie.
No way.
And the best part, Kate and Abe are totally chill about it.
Oh, my gosh.
They're just casually chatting with Stephanie, making jokes about free publicity and how fans hate it when beloved characters die.
Wow. So they're just completely desensitized to the whole thing.
Yeah, their reaction really highlights the weird reality of the soap opera world.
Right.
It's like they're acknowledging how over the top it all is, but they're also kind of stuck in it.
Exactly.
So then we snap back to reality, and it's like the dream never happened.
Okay.
Leo wakes up safe and sound. Abe reminds him about Kate's email. Life goes on.
Right.
But did it really not happen? Or was it a glimpse into something darker?
That's what's so great about this episode. It leaves you with more questions than answers.
Now, back in the real world, we've got Johnny trying to make amends with Chanel for his past mistakes.
Okay.
And to make things even more awkward, Kate introduces them to the newest cast member, Joy.
Oh, wow.
The same Joy who played Regan in Leo's dream.
Talk about dramatic irony.
Right. It's like the writers are hinting at something more going on between the dream and reality.
Yeah, definitely sets the stage for some interesting storylines.
For sure. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at what this whole dream sequence is trying to tell us.
What's really amazing is how they managed to fit all of these self-aware things into the episode,
Yeah,
but they didn't lose that entertainment value.
right.
Like they're holding up a mirror to the entire world of soap operas,
Mm-hmm.
poking fun at the tropes and the conventions, but at the same time, they're telling this really gripping story.
It's like they're saying, we know soap operas are kind of ridiculous, but that's why they're so fun.
Yeah.
And speaking of ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
we have to talk about Stephanie being revealed as the Pineview Plunger.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to that?
Honestly, I was floored. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Stephanie has always been portrayed as this sweet, innocent character.
Right.
And to see her suddenly become a cold-blooded killer was shocking.
What makes you wonder if it's just a temporary thing, you know?
Right.
Like she's under some kind of spell or something? Yeah. Or is this who she really is, deep down? I mean, remember how she was kind of eager to embrace all the chaos in the dream world?
That's a good point. It's almost like the dream awakens something dark inside her. And the fact that she's so nonchalant about the murders afterwards is really unsettling. It's like she's totally lost touch with reality.
It's giving me single white female vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way that she's manipulating Kate and Abe, acting all innocent while secretly pulling the strings of this whole murderous scheme.
Yeah, and don't forget that meta commentary in that final scene
Oh, yeah.
with Stephanie, Kate, and Abe.
Yeah.
They're literally laughing about how much free publicity the murders will bring to the show.
It's a pretty cynical take on the media.
Yeah.
And how soap operas often use real-life tragedies for ratings.
It really makes you think about the ethics of it all.
Right.
Are they providing entertainment or are they exploiting serious issues for profit?
It's definitely something to think about. But even with all the social commentary and meta stuff, this episode still delivers on that classic soap opera drama.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that final scene with Johnny, Chanel, and Joy, so good. The tension, the awkward glances, the unspoken history, it's all there.
And the fact that Joy is now part of the main cast just adds another layer to the whole thing.
It's like the writers are blurring the lines between the dream world and reality,
Yeah.
suggesting that what happened in the dream might actually affect what happens in the present day.
It's a really clever way to keep the audience guessing.
So what do you think the future holds for Leo now that he's encountered Stephanie?
Well, I don't think Leo is in a safe position, considering Stephanie's mental state right now.
Right.
He already got stabbed once, even if it was in a dream.
Yeah.
And with Stephanie losing her grip on reality, who knows what she might do.
And don't forget, Stephanie has a history of being manipulative and vengeful.
That's true.
Remember when she framed Brady for attempted murder?
Oh, yeah.
She's not afraid to use dirty tactics to get what she wants.
And now that she's gotten a taste for, well,
Right.
who knows how far she'll go to protect her secrets and keep her power.
This is setting us up for some major drama between Leo and Stephanie.
Yeah.
And with Kate and Abe caught in the middle, things are about to get messy.
For sure. And then there's Chanel and Johnny.
Right?
How do you think Joy's arrival is going to change things between them?
Well, given what happened between Johnny and Joy in Leo's dream,
Yeah.
I think things are going to get very complicated.
Mm.
Soap operas love a good love triangle.
And Joy is charming and talented.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes a rival for Johnny's heart.
And Chanel's still recovering from her breakup with Allie.
Right.
She's in a vulnerable place. Joy might take advantage of that.
It's like a classic soap opera setup.
Yeah.
Jealousy, betrayal, hidden agendas.
And with the dream potentially foreshadowing things to come.
Yeah.
It's a lot of potential for drama.
But let's step back for a second and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
What do you think the writers are trying to say about reality versus fantasy in this episode?
That's a good question. On one hand, they're playing with this whole dream within a dream thing,
Right.
blurring the lines between what's real and what's not. But maybe they're also exploring the idea that our own desires and fears shape how we see reality.
Yeah, exactly. And in the world of soap operas, where everything is so heightened and dramatic, that line between reality and fantasy gets even more blurry.
It's like the characters are living in this constant state of heightened awareness,
Yeah.
where anything is possible and nothing is off limits.
It's like they're in a world where logic doesn't apply.
Right.
which is exciting and scary at the same time.
And that's what keeps us coming back for more as viewers.
Yeah.
We never know what's going to happen next.
And that's what makes a great soap opera episode like this one. It's entertaining, it makes you think, and it leaves you wanting more.
But before we finish up, what stood out to you the most in this episode?
For me, it's how the writers were able to combine so many different things. The dream, the mystery, the commentary, all into one story.
Right.
It really shows off their skill.
Yeah, it's like they took that classic soap opera formula and just gave it a little twist.
Right, and they ended up with something really unique.
Yeah. And we can't forget about revealing Stephanie as the Pangu plunger.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
No.
It just opens up so many possibilities for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about the characters with Stephanie going to the dark side.
Who knows what she'll do next in Salem.
Yeah.
Speaking of wild stuff, though, remember that joke Detective Hodson made during the dream?
Oh, yeah, about the repetitive beats.
What do you think about that?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
I mean, on the surface, it's just a funny little nod to soap opera storylines.
Right, yeah.
How they're always kind of predictable, but I think it's deeper than that.
Okay, tell me more.
The whole dream sequence is basically just a reflection of the drama in Salem. It's like the writers are holding up a mirror to the show.
Yeah.
They're saying, we know this is over the top, but that's why it's fun.
It's like they know we're all in on the joke.
Right, but it makes you wonder, do those repetitive beats mean something more?
Oh, interesting.
Could they be hinting at what's going to happen, or maybe they say something about the characters?
That's something to think about. It's like they're telling us to look deeper.
Yeah.
See how these patterns show up in our own lives, too.
And in soap operas, history always repeats itself.
Yeah.
So we should watch for those patterns as the story goes on.
This episode has definitely given us a lot to think about. It shows us that even the craziest soap opera storylines can be meaningful.
I agree completely. It shows how powerful soap operas are.
Yeah.
They can surprise you, they can make you happy, and they can make you think.
So to everyone listening, keep watching for those repetitive beats in Salem.
You never know what they might reveal.
Until next time, happy viewing.